win it. They won it because you made them win. They didn't win it fair and square. Bet on Mohit was my biggest downfall in the show. I think I even punched him after the show. I think I smacked him or slapped him. I did something. Usko padi thi mein se. Rajiv, we were all sitting there. So Raghu's answer was like, just needed to give like a twist to it. I said, but you fucked up my career. An option to change votes. That's not fair. It's not fair at all. He used to get on my nerves. स्टॉक मार्केट ट्रैश तो इंग्लिश में तो उसके सर से ऊपर वैसे उड़ जाएगा और जनता को वैसे मजा नहीं आएगा. पंजाबी में ही बोल लेते हैं. बड़ा बैंगन सा आदमी है. इससे बात भी नहीं की मेरे से. मैं कहा ठीक है भाई, बचा लो अपने वोट से. तू तो बूढ़ी है. मैंने कहा 24 साल की है भाई, बूढ़ी हो गई. तो मैं निकाल देती इसको, पर ये बच गया. ऑडियंस की टिल द एंड इट वाज जोआना एंड नाउ शी लॉस्ट. होती तो शायद वो दूसरा तीसरा एपिसोड नहीं टपता. That day, that they had ended up kissing that night. But obviously, in this way, I feel they stripped the show. The cameras ran behind me. Fuck off. The show's over. I don't owe you nothing. TRP show की तो मतलब उसकी धज्जियां उड़ जाती.
Joanna, can I just say that you in your season was a hit? Like, wow. Like, I was seeing clips, like, this girl had it in her. I'm sure you have it till now also. But what a fucking personality, bro. Loved it. Loved it.
I don't think people could handle me on that show.
I loved it. I loved every bit of it. You had glamour. You were like fire, like savage when it had to be savage. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can give a good run to girls who are coming now in Splitsvilla also. I feel like this girl could have killed them, bro.
Definitely, I would kill it. I would love to go back if I had the chance. They should actually make a show with all the ex-Splits villains, like a power couple from every show, put it together, How many seasons have gone? Literally after my season, I didn't watch any. 14. So they could take 2 from each and make a nice duo of it. More than enough to run a madhouse. MTV will be pulling their hair.
There is a different vibe when you interview people who are actually the originators of Splitsvilla, basically. That's what I call. There's a different vibe.
Yeah.
The way they execute the answers, I'm like, girl, people need to learn this shit.
They do. They really do. This is not happening.
Oh, no. I'm not letting you go today, bro. Hi, Joanna. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's such a pleasure to have you on my channel. I've already said hi to you. It's so awkward repeating, saying my again and again. Hi.
Same here. We've been running around to get this interview through.
Exactly. It's so jinxed, guys. किसी ने नजर लगाई है, बहुत गलत बात है. जिसने भी नजर लगाई है
ना, नजर तो मुझे लगती रहती है. बहुत बीमार पड़ती हूँ.
Joanna, I have already said this, but I want to repeat myself because I want my audience also to know it, that the way you were in your season, it is exceptional. I know my audience is very young to, Splitsvilla, like I connected with my audience in like 2022, 2021. But you have done this season when people who are OG viewers of Splitsvilla only know who you are, right? So my main task is to actually tell people that she was the actual queen of Splitsvilla.
Aww.
And I honestly feel like, Joanna, I was seeing your clips. They were amazing. Do you miss it? Like, what is it?
I would say yes. I do miss the energy and the fun and all that we had going on there. I was about to get married to someone with like some stupid ass reason. It was like a chat mangni particular decision that I made because I was young and I just wanted to get married and whatever. All these, when you're young, you have all these things in your head, and that didn't happen. And like I broke up and stuff. And then being a cosmetologist, I was running a couple of salons at that time. And these people just walked in randomly. And they were like, oh, you have a pretty face. And, we're doing this reality show on MTV. And I was like, I'm not interested. I don't want to go, like, be on a show for 30 days. And they were like, oh, it's in Goa. And, this is happening. And then I was like, I'll think about it. And they said, no, today is the auditions. Like, today you need to come. The auditions were, like, about 5 minutes from my studio. So my boss was like, what do you have to lose? Just go and, just go have some fun and, just go give the audition and come back. I went to my lunch and stuff. And then I was like, okay, let's go. A bunch of people just standing in line, with their little forms in their hands and all that going on. And I could see Raghu and I could see Rajiv. And I was like, I don't really want to do this. And I was walking away. So one of these girls with their little pens and pads in their hands. She's like, you're the girl from the salon, right? And I'm like, it's like, yeah. She's like, oh, you have a pass, just go through, cut the line. And I was like, okay, because I don't want to stand in that line. There's a long ass line there. I'm not going to stand here. And I walked past and I was getting all these stare downs from people like, isko kyun mil raha hai? Ye kyun ja rahi hai? And I was the only one to walk through. And I walked through and they did my audition and they just asked me to do some crap on the camera, like make love to the camera and do something. I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to make love to the camera?
You were asking love to the camera.
Yeah, like he's supposed to be like my man, and I'm supposed to be passionate, and I'm supposed to like act like I'm indulging in him. I was like, I have to put a real person in front. I'll show you indulgence. I can't really, like be all sexy with the camera. And they just cracked up laughing and whatever. They liked my energy, and they were like, okay, we'll get back to you. Give us a few days. And I think the same day or the next day, I got a call saying, you've been selected. You're in the final, and then you a mail where they're gonna tell me like what all we need to bring, the whole shebang. And then I was like contemplating, I was like, do I want to go for this 30 days away doing what? Like what? So I thought, and I was like, oh, fuck it, let's just do it. Let's just go. So I took the jump, we went, it was fun, till it turned into a bit of a pain in the ass in the middle somewhere. But I guess that's what reality shows are all about.
Yeah.
Overall, it was an experience, I'd say. Yeah.
Are you friends with anybody, or like, do you feel like, what is the equation with the people like now?
I am not friends with anybody. I think I have Siddharth on my Instagram. So I think we're just very cordial, I'd say. We're not enemies. Other than that, I'm not friends with anybody. I have Suyash, which occasionally I have spoken to him. But other than that, I don't think I'm in touch with anybody.
So Joanna, we will be reacting to your videos from Splitsvilla. So basically, you're reading your moments.
Okay. Ready.
जो बोला मेरा दिमाग थोड़ा खराब हो गया सारे वो एक पंजाब की जटनी सी जागी थी मेरे में
जिथों आई है ना उत्थे दा ही रह ठीक है सारे पुणे दी आई हुई तेरे तो ऐ मार दिए मैं पुणे दी टुच्ची से टुच्ची लड़की भी जो होगी ना तेरे तो चंगी है
Yeah, Joanna, what do you have to say about this video?
Not very proud of it, I'd say.
I think it's cool. It's very cool.
I think I wouldn't say I'm very proud of it because I wouldn't not really want to abuse another woman, but she used to get on my nerves. Like that was 30 days of suppressed aggression that was coming out. और वो तो मतलब उसने 30 दिन जो मेरा दिमाग खाया है ना वो तो कैमरा पे शायद आधा आया भी नहीं है because they only used to put the amount they could fit into 1 hour for the audience, but there are 24 hours in the entire day.
Yeah.
So वो पूरा दिन सर खाती थी पूरा दिन. I just wanted to pick her up and go to the backwaters. They're probably getting up by some crocodile or something. I don't know. But she was frustrating. And she used to take a go at me at every point that I was there. If I used to come there for 4 hours in a day, or I used to come there for 3 hours, she used to always just piss me off. So I think there was all of that aggression at the end that was coming out. Yeah, and that frustration and I don't know what it was, and then I just lost it over there.
hard है यार Joanna, ये क्या you know?
हाँ, पर ये पंजाबी मेरी सारी टूटी फूटी थी इतनी भी अच्छी पंजाबी नहीं बोल रही थी मैं वहाँ पे.
But लगा आपको आती है पता है. The fact was the how you said it ना, I felt like ये तो भाई सच में आपने बोला ना कि मेरे अंदर एक पंजाब की जटनी जाग गई थी. So what was that?
That is because in my schooling, I grew up with all Jats only because obviously I was in Chandigarh. Most of my schooling was in Chandigarh. Some of it was in the US, but whatever. But I grew up with all Punjabis. I didn't have any Anglo-Christian friends much in school. So it was like my Hindi wasn't that great, but my Punjabi was better.
Yeah.
So when I was getting into this and I said trash talk, मैं trash talk English में तो उसके सर से ऊपर वैसे उड़ जाएगा और जनता को वैसे मजा नहीं आएगा. तो थोड़ा सा पंजाबी में ही बोल लेते हैं. तो मैं पंजाबी में ही बोल पड़ी.
Yeah, man, that was amazing.
Yeah.
So now we come to the second video, in which I think you were the queen. You were sitting there like a queen.
I think this is where my famous dialogue was set your priorities right, correct?
Yeah.
Why I'm signing for him and not for her is because this guy standing there is accepted it and has told me. Yeah, ऐसा हुआ है. But that chick sitting there is still denying the fact that this guy did everything to her and she did nothing. You see, That is what I'm trying to put.
What? Please, can you repeat that?
Listen up, girl.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is,
listening to you.
he's sitting there.
Go on.
Let her talk, Sakshi.
Yeah, I know you're one. You don't gotta tell me.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, keep your fake accent to yourself. I'll repeat it for you.
I don't know how many years.
यार हिंदी में बात कर लो.
इसकी भाषा में नहीं बोलना चाहती हूँ. He flirted with me. He threw himself on me. He did everything, and she didn't do nothing. She's no Sati Savitri sitting there.
Joanna, what is up? What is? Listen up, girl. Listen up, girl. तो ऊपर से निकल रही होगी, ये क्या बोल रही है? ये तो सारे 10वीं 12वीं
वो
पास.
पकड़ लेती थी, 2 शब्द पकड़ लेती थी और फिर उस 2 शब्द पे ही आंसर देती थी वो. तो उसका वो गेम प्ले यही था उसका.
Sid आपके साथ king, like he was the king and you were the queen.
Mhm.
So like,
Yeah.
like, do you feel like that Sid was a better king or Mohit was better king?
I think he got very underplayed by everybody. I mean, he tried very hard, I feel. Like when you look at the show, someone was hot-headed, someone was being nice to Mohit because I had a soft corner for him and he was trying to win the game. So everybody had their own concepts going on. I would say Siddharth was a better king.
Yeah.
He was a better king. He didn't really get that much of recognition from all his mates inside the house. Everybody just saw him as a very sly character, which he was a bit, but I guess that's what you gotta do to win. I didn't go there to win. I just went there to play and have a good time. And, you know, like, dekhi jayegi. Let's see how it goes. I think if I had actually put my head in the game, then I would have won it. And I did win it, actually. But that's another story.
What?
That'll come later.
You did win it? What the fuck? I'm not gonna drop this topic ever in my life. I'm gonna talk about it later when we come to this video.
Yeah.
Okay, the third video is in which this guy, I don't know, Bhavesh, what is his name?
I've literally forgotten half their names as well. Remember this guy's name because the entire show I called him 69. Because he had this hanging on his neck, and when I asked him, do you know what this means? The guy said, I don't know what it means. I said, why the hell are you wearing it? So we just called him 69. I really don't remember his name.
Dude, why is he wearing a 69, yeah? ये पहन के
Yeah, but मालूम ही नहीं है. उसने claim ये किया था पूरे show में कि I don't know what it is. तो क्यों पहना है वो उसी को मालूम है.
Oh my god, ew. चलो प्ले करते हैं.
बंदे का मतलब क्या है तेरा?
जो मैंने अभी बोला.
मैं बीच का बंदा सबसे मैं बात करता हूँ तो मैं बीच का बंदा हूँ.
सबसे तो किया ही नहीं ना.
किससे?
इसको क्या प्रॉब्लम हो
Yeah.
गई बंदा बोलने से? क्या हो गया? ऐसा क्या बोल दिया आपने? क्या
So
problem?
his role in the house in the Switzerland house was when he had come from the beginning. This guy spoke to everybody but me. Like I'm the one who's going to be sitting on that chair making the decision.
Yeah.
So you should have come up to me and told me why I should keep you in the house. I didn't even do that. So this one was like, like I don't have to go to Joanna. Like who gives a shit about her? And I'm just going to go to everybody and secure myself.
Yeah.
And then when I asked everybody, and they, like, what do you feel like about this guy? And I had to go and ask people, and they were like, nahi, aisa hai, waisa hai, bada dogla hai, bada bangan sa aadmi hai. So we talk now. So he did not come and ask me anything, but he just asked everybody कि मेरे को Joanna से नहीं बात करनी, मैं तुमसे बच जाऊंगा, ये वो फलाना ढिमकाना. Bother to come and even speak to me, and I thought of actually saving him that day. But then he had this whole attitude, he walks in like बड़े चौड़े होके, जैसे तू कौन खाम का types,
I did not like one thing in this video that he said that तू पहले से ही सीखी सिखाई है and all of that. तो मतलब
हाँ.
he was throwing shade at you, and then he was also expecting कि मेरे को save कर लो. You get it? What
Yeah.
I'm saying? है ना?
Yeah.
तो वहाँ
That's what I told him. Like that's what I told him. I said no. I said I was going to save you, but you are literally on dogla. You are telling me something else, and you're telling your people something else, and you didn't even have the courtesy of coming and telling me ki jo, this is my reason for you to not dump me today.
Yeah.
Like everybody does on the show.
Yeah.
But ये बंदा तो आया ही नहीं, इससे बात भी नहीं की मेरे से. मैं कहा ठीक है भाई, बचा लो अपने वोट से. इतने यार दोस्त तुमने बनाए हुए हैं इस शहर में, तो बना लो. Let's see who bloody saves your ass. Go ahead. You have your opportunity. You have your so-called friends. Go ahead.
बहुत ही
But
चौड़ा.
none of his friends secured him. तो मेरी क्या गलती है, बताओ?
नहीं, कोई गलती नहीं. आप बेस्ट थे. Don't worry. The best.
मेरे पे इल्जाम लगाया है. दोनों बार इसके लोगों ने इसको बचाया नहीं है.
ये था ही
The man should.
question and आई hot है. ठीक है ना ये बोल पा रहा
अरे
है
हॉट भी ना हो तो चलेगा, दिमाग तो होना चाहिए ना. If you want to play like a freaking chameleon, then you're not really gonna go too far.
या
You gotta be more original. You gotta be more yourself.
कहाँ का था ये
दिल्ली का ही था शायद.
okay next video I had to put this because this is so cool bro you got the moves yaar Joanna
I got the move. I also had the waist back then. I am so skinny here, which is like, oh my god.
how old were you in this
I was what, 20, 24?
doesn't look like it's a 21-year-old body like all skinny pinny and all that shit
Yeah, I was 24, yeah, I think. 23, 24.
okay
23, 24 में भी मुझे बुढ़ी बुला दिया उसने. तू तो बूढ़ी है. मैंने कहा 24 साल की हो भाई. कहाँ से बूढ़ी हो गई?
अच्छा हाँ ट्रैश टॉकिंग में आपको बोला था उसने यस बुड्ढी बोला था
हाँ, जबरदस्ती.
and she looks pretty old by the way now
Yeah,
that
yeah, she.
then also announced
Yeah.
do you think you had the best moves in the villa
Oh, yes. I think I was the only girl who actually knew how to dance. Everybody else had left feet. All of them. That she knew a little bit. She danced well as well.
everything about you was there was this aura about you in splits too which was amazing to be honest Joanna like you had that spark in
Yeah.
you a lot of people didn't have like you had that कि okay you were the queen material actually the queen material
I'll tell you why also, because being a Christian and an Anglo girl coming into a show like this, which was, I was not very starstruck or, like, I'm on a camera or whatever. It was very, even though I hadn't ever been on a camera before this, but I think the exposure that I've had with my family and the way we are at home, it was easy for me to gel in. Whereas in all the other people that had come from very, very different backgrounds. Most of them were very excited to be on a camera.
yeah
Like, oh, there's a camera on my head or whatever. That is why maybe I came through to people and I connected more with the audience because I was all me, whereas everybody else was just trying to please the camera, trying to make as much as noise as they could. So, the audience could like them or hate them or be spoken about, like whatever worked. Agar negative काम करेगा, so let's be negative. Agar positive काम पड़ेगा, then let's lick someone's ass. But for me, it wasn't that. For me, it was like one day at a time. जो होएगा देखी जाएगी. So maybe that is why people liked me. Maybe that is why I came across, because I was me.
you were real
So
you
probably.
perfect people have this question that Suyash was your support system in splits and people have commented below this video that Suyash
Mhm.
was your like support system emotionally so you dumped him like people want to know that
Yeah.
what explanation behind him dumping Suyash
The only explanation I have for this video was, yes, I did regret dumping him because I felt like he definitely was one of my best people on the show. I think I did like Mohit, but somewhere down he was a more closer friend to me, a more closer person to my heart. I think I was more on the streak at that point where I was trying to be fair. Maybe if he had come into a dump, because he had not performed in the task and that other guy, he had performed better. That's the reason why I kept him, just on basis of performance. But maybe if Suyash had been in the dumping, maybe a couple of episodes down the lane, I would have probably been biased to him. I would have probably not dumped him. I think it was in the initial time. I think it was the second or the third dumping where Suyash was in the dumping. So that time I was like trying to be all like, I have to be honest, I have to be right. I don't have to do any injustice to anybody. And by far the other guy outbeat Suyash. So just on basis of the performance, I chose that guy. There was no other motive or vendetta against him. I kept asking the crew, I kept asking Nikhil, I was like, are you going to get like a wild card entry in? Are you going to get back Suyash? And he's like, I can't tell you that. I'm like, get him back, get him back. I did try. Like, I used to go and like try and talk to them because I used to get a lot of alone time with them because I used to be taken away from the villa. I never stayed in the villa. They put me up in this bloody godforsaken Rapunzel tower where I was locked up in a room for 30 years. It was rehab for me. These guys still had a good fucking time. I was in rehab. It's like literal rehab.
okay she couldn't win the show not dumped him she had a real shot, but I also feel like कि ऐसा नहीं है, because you know you were anyways not thinking to make him your partner or what. You were very loyal with
Yeah,
him.
he was never going to be my partner, so irrelevant. It wouldn't have made much of a difference. Everybody that was dumped were the judges of the show. So irrelevant of whether he was there for 2 seasons or 3 seasons or 4 seasons, it wouldn't have made a difference. That was Mohit going all insecure, I guess.
The way we used to fight with Mohit was like one thing we used to discuss going to school. I'm like, भाई ये दोनों लड़ते कितने रहते हैं यार, पूरे दिन लड़ते ही रहते हैं. Mohit was sitting there, ठीक है, but still he came कि चुल लेनी है.
Yeah. हाँ है, थी उसमें. उसे बहुत चुल थी. और बहुत इनसिक्योर बंदा था. है ना, होती तो शायद वो दूसरा तीसरा भी सीजन नहीं एपिसोड नहीं टॉपता.
हाँ.
Fact है ये, हाँ. I think the only reason this guy got any exposure was because of me. He would have been dumped long ago because there was not a single person in the show that liked him to start with. Whatever votes we had were the people who liked me. The rest didn't like me. Yeah, he just had an attitude which probably then I didn't understand, but later when I saw the show finished, there was a big showdown that happened. I'll tell you that in the end. When I was in there, I didn't see it, but when I got out, I saw like what a big fool I was because Mohit was a total jerk. He was a very insecure character. He knew कि अगर Joanna मेरे हाथ से निकल गई, is going to be I'll be the next person to pack my bags and go. He was always trying to secure his seat with me, you know, that मैंने ऐसा नहीं किया. Even like when he was like totally dancing with Sakshi and there were rumors around the villa that they had ended up kissing that night, but obviously it didn't come out. But वो बातें सब पीछे हुई थी कैमरा की, which were not shown on TV, and they were talks that, you know, these guys had made out and, you know, like stuff had happened and whatever, and I was like pissed at him when I sat on that seat. Before I sat on the seat only, I was like pissed at him already. Probably he would have been like taken out. अगर उस दिन वो बैलेंस बैठता नहीं तो फिर अगले डंपिंग में अगर ये आता मैं निकाल देती इसको, पर ये बच गया. इसने अपनी अट्टी सट्टी किसी तरीके से मेरे साथ फिरा के मुझे ले लिया फिर से, जो भी सूरी बूढ़ी whatever you call it में, कि नहीं भाई मुझे मत छोड़ो, मैं तुम्हारा ही हूँ, मैं अच्छा हूँ, you know. देख चलो ठीक है. So like a fool I fell for all this bullshit.
Mohit का jack मतलब lottery you were in the show. Like he
Yeah.
basically only survived because you gave him a hope कि चलो.
Definitely.
I agree. Okay, next video, Joanna.
A chick who's using me behind my back. You grinding with her. I don't want to bring this up here. Mohit.
I don't want to bring this up.
You don't have to survive on her basis. You have to survive on my basis.
You have to survive on my basis. Such a bossy things today. Okay, Joanna, what do you have to say? So I think it's your time to show your cards now. What is it?
Whatever was happening in the day was what they were seeing at night in that dumping ground, you know. Outcome of whatever was happening throughout the day.
Yeah.
अच्छा है तो रात को अच्छा होता था, खराब होता था तो रात को खराब होता था. किसी ने कुछ बोला है तो उसी का रिएक्शन रात को निकलता था. So it was the same thing. It was just as it was going. There was nothing like given to me or nothing was scripted. I was not told to go fight with people or, you know, like abuse somebody. It was all just out there.
Yeah. According to you, when you were in the show, you just said, so you did not feel like the show was scripted or show was inclined towards anybody. You just felt like it was very natural for you.
Yeah, because it wasn't scripted, but I feel it was scripted in the way they set the show. They don't tell you what to do, like literally, but they stand around with their pens and papers and whatever, and they listen to you. They hear you. They understand कि अभी ये इसको वोट देने वाले, वो उसको वोट देने वाले. मुझे लगता है उसके बेसिस पे ये रात को बैठ के अपने नेक्स्ट डे की प्लानिंग करते कि इन पे कौन सा बॉम्ब फेंकना है. Like I'll give you an example. When there was the rematch for the queen and the king, they actually wanted Sakshi to come across me for the rematch. Last standing boy will stand against Mohit, and the last standing girl will stand against me. So first they had to go battle it out within each other.
Yeah.
So obviously these people were standing there and listening to their game plan and whatever. Now come on, the show is not going to go to the dogs because they want to make right? Ritika was against me. Yeah. Because if Ritika would have become queen, TRP show की तो मतलब उसकी धज्जियां उड़ जाती. तो उनको पता था कि हमें ऐसा टास्क देना पड़ेगा जिसमें रितिका दूर तक नहीं जीत सकती. You see? So they're smart. So I'd say the show is scripted in a way where they give you things to do where they know the outcome is going to be in their favor. They knew if they put a fight between Mohit and Siddharth, there is a higher chances of Siddharth winning than Mohit because he was more street smart and Mohit was more a baby.
Yeah.
Baby boo types, like very mama, daddy, daddy types. And this guy was like, fuck it out, punch the shit out of you.
Yeah.
With me, they thought that Sakshi would come in front of me. But these guys, all these smart asses in the house, thought कि कोई कुश्ती वाला लड़ाई होएगा, mud fight होएगा, ये fight होएगा. So they thought, let's put the strongest contender in front of Joanna, which was Ritika, obviously. So it was all planned. But then when MTV saw कि भी अगर Ritika को इसके सामने डाल, they wanted to do a mud fight, which I'm sure 110% they wanted something to look more sexy, more dirty, more TRP. तो लड़की को तो मिट्टी में फेंक दो, उससे ज्यादा क्या हो सकता है?
Yeah.
But Sakshi आई नहीं, आ गई Ritika. So they gave the bloody task of going to the beach and getting whatever last one thing on a guy.
Yeah.
So they put us on Collingwood Beach where they were all Britishers. So all my British English came out because obviously I've lived there. And it took me like 10 minutes to procure 10 last wearing underwears or they swimsuits or the trunks or whatever.
Yeah.
And that one was still struggling with like 4 or 5. उनको पता था ये task को देंगे because they did not want Ritika to be queen again. So in this way, I feel they stripped the show where they know what the outcome is. So they give you a task on the basis of that, but they don't really script your show by telling you what to do. That way.
Perfect. So Joanna, this is the last video in which I just loved it when Nikhil said, do you want to say anything to the winners? And you are like, no, I don't even want to see them. It was so good. Let me play it.
Best of luck.
I don't wish to speak to them at all.
You can join your friends back in Splitsvilla.
नहीं देखना चाहती. I just wanted to walk out of that place. मैं claustrophobic हो रही थी. मेरे को सांस नहीं आ रहा था उस जगह में. उन लोगों के पास नहीं बैठा जा रहा था मेरे से.
I did not even speak to them after the show. I went into the room. I locked myself up. The cameras ran behind me, and they wanted to take my reaction. And I told them, "Fuck off." I said, "The show's over. I don't owe you nothing. You're not getting any reaction or emotion from me." I just closed the door and I was crying inside. I was so mad because one, they have never ever had option of anybody changing their votes.
Yeah.
We won. We won by 8. They were 7. And this goddamn 69, वो स्वागता पीछे से उसको बोल रही थी ब्रेक को फुट देगा. वो बंदी ने इसके दिमाग में क्या डाला क्या नहीं डाला, I don't know. This man any which way did not have a spine or brain of his own.
Yeah.
He suddenly got this revenge vendetta against me कि इसको तो अब मुझे हराना है. तो उसने बोला हाँ मेरे को नाम चेंज करना है. अगर इसने नाम चेंज नहीं किया होता और अगर इन लोगों ने ऑप्शन नहीं दिया होता वोट चेंज करने का तो हम 8 होते और वो 7 होते. We had already won the show.
Yeah.
But MTV suddenly got this thing, like, oh, she's been in, I don't know what the juice was behind this or why they did it. Or maybe they just wanted to like create this push to the audience. Ki, oh, till the end it was Joanna. And now she lost. Yeah, so they did this and then they won. And I was so mad. And like later when the show got over and all, and at that point, Raghu, Rajiv, we were all sitting there. So Raghu's answer was like, oh, Joanna, we just needed to give like a twist to it. I said, yeah, but you fucked up my career. I said, this would have also been a career opportunity for me, This would have been my entry in. But you people just did this, in a very vindictive way. Why would you give someone an option to change a vote? That's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair at all. That's why when they did this and when they asked me to congratulate them, I said, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
They didn't win it. They won it because you made them win.
Yeah.
They didn't win it fair and square.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. You were deserving enough to be what they were giving as a winner and you could not do it. Anyways, Joanna is just a game.
It is okay because after the show, I got into Zoom TV. I hosted for a year. I did Planet Bollywood.
Yeah.
I did a big show. After that, I did Zee TV. I did World of Bollywood. I worked with them for a year and a half. I did my
thing now on MTV. You also done one more MTV.
I did Crunch there also. I almost won there also. वो भी हाथ से चला गया था. But yeah, it was a good experience all around. But yes, I think my wrong bet on Mohit was my biggest downfall in the show. because I remember after the show, I think I even punched him after the show. Yeah, I think we got into a hand scrap. I think I smacked him or slapped him. I did something. I don't remember, but usko padi thi mere se. Kyunki on the last day we had changed venues. They had taken us to another resort for the last night where they had this little party and set for the crew and everybody to just like chill the last day, and everybody was flying out or going by their train or whatever the next day. So we were doing our VDs there, our last reactions, whatever. And I had to go after Mohit, and I was standing outside and just having a beer. And this guy, I overheard his conversation, and he's like, she was just a pawn. I was just playing her all along. And I lost my cool. And then when he came out, I was like, oh, I was the pawn. I said, you piece of shit. I was like, I'm the one that like dragged your ass through the whole show. If it wasn't for you, you wouldn't have even got 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
I think I smacked him or something, and Param, I think, pulled me back, and he's like, "क्या कर रही है पागल है, हाथ मत गंदे कर, ये मत कर, वो ना कर." पड़ी तो थी उसको, एक दो तो उसको पड़ी थी में से। दिमाग खराब हो गया था। Personally, I was frustrated that I lost the show, and like everybody was like, "Oh, you lost it because of Mohit and this and that." Everybody was like, like on my head. Honestly, I think I may have watched 1 or 2 episodes here and there from different seasons, but I felt I just went down. Everything it's kind of diluted into I don't know what the show became. I know people are still crazy about this show, which is lovely, but I really think they should have a comeback with all the good ones from the show, the ones that people loved, or maybe the ones that people hated. Even that could work, just to have that good, bad, evil.
Yeah, good when you call all the OGs from different season and like put them together.
Yeah.
Then you put them through all that task and all those adventures, and that's where everybody who's used to all that environment will manifest, and it will be a great TRP wala show. I agree.
It definitely will, because see, everybody who went into the show were all at different ages. If you go all the way back, everybody now, probably people from the first season now, I know a lot of them, they're all either married or they have babies. So there's going to be like this whole vast section of different age groups that are going to be in there. People with different lives altogether now than what they were then, So I think that mix of energies and everything would kick out like a major kick-ass show.
What is your dating scene, Joanna? Like, what are you in a relationship?
I am in a relationship, yes. I am dating. I am dating somebody, yes.
Good for you. How do you find it's a forest out there? So hard, yeah.
I found my Tarzan.
I too can't tell you. It's fucked up. Okay, Joanna, it was my pleasure having you on my channel. I can't wait to put this out and people to actually know who you are in real. And thank you for doing this for me. It really means the world to me. It really does. And I can't wait to be in Goa and I'll hit you up and we'll party together.
Definitely. This was beautiful talking to you too, sweetheart.
Bye, Joanna. Bye.
Bye-bye.